Welcome to NBA Today with Malika Andrews, live from Los Angeles.
SGA and Vic, well, they're going for a different three letters, MVP. How they're dueling 40-point nights on Monday, it could factor into the MVP race with less than 2 weeks to go. Plus, the Lakers versus the Cavaliers, that's tonight, and it brings LeBron's future into renewed focus. I don't know, could he spend his next season with the wine and gold? And both Final Fours are set for the women's and men's tournaments. We're going to tell you the key players to look at that can improve their W and NBA stock. NBA Today starts right now. We begin our show with the clash of the number 1 seeds, the Detroit Pistons and Oklahoma City Thunder. SGA is so popular. Guys, he's even autographing babies. Did you see that? He was doing this pregame. Early in the second quarter is where we pick this one up. SGA goes coast to coast. The reigning MVP. Remember, no Cade Cunningham still in this one. Chet Holmgren muscling his way inside. Little muscles, but he gets to the bucket. Jalen Williams loving it from the bench there. Under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. SGA works between two defenders, spinning.
Slithery.
Layup to go. Tough finish there by Shea. Now, midway through the fourth quarter here, Marcus Sasser, he kicks it out to Javonte Green, who nails the three, and Austin Rivers, he was on the call. He was reminded of another Green brethren.
Uh-oh.
Is that Danny Green? What Green is that?
Okay, cuzzo. Got that last name.
2 minutes later, SGA gets that one to go, the little midi. And then next OKC possession, SGA gets some separation for the jumper. He's taken over in clutch time. This is what he does. Under 2 minutes left, SGA kicks it to the other Jalen Williams, knocks down the corner three. Huge shot there by J. Will. But this is where things get interesting. Final seconds of the fourth, SGA gets some separation from Green, nails the three. OKC crowd goes crazy, but wait, they call it an offensive foul. And Shea, he can't believe it. Look at his face. The replay shows that he extends his arm out on Green to get the separation for three. The refs call it, and the game winner is nullified there. But why, Iman, is this a push-off and not that foul that we always see him get?
Okay, so the difference is when we see SGA drive, it's either with the right hand or it's with the left hand. On the left side, you can hide it a little bit. When you dribble with that right hand, it's hard to hide that off arm. We're going to get to it right here.
Take a look at it one more time, though.
When he's going to that right, instead of the chicken wing, we get Heisman Trophy.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Going with that right hand, you have to get the ball back to that right side, so you naturally will extend that left arm for the rhythm dribble. You see it come here? It's here. You can get that off because you know you're getting back to your shooting hand over here. It's right here lined up in the pocket. I'm not going to shoot it. We're going to get to this side. Let's roll the other side.
He does get away with it.
He gets away with it. Here it is here. But when you see it here, you see it? Baby chicken wing right there. There it is, like little chicken wing right there. A little mild sauce on it. You might put a little hot sauce on it if you want. Now, if you see it right here, going to the left, you still get this same problem right here. But now it's a chicken wing to dislodge, and you're going to bring it back because you want the ball back into this right hand so it could be in that shot pocket. I'm not going to shoot it right now. I got the suit jacket on. I ain't trying to miss.
And what makes him so effective and efficient is change of pace.
Yeah.
He's able to stop on a dime and get the defense off balance. So with the combination of the chicken wing and him going so fast and hard to the basket makes the defense believe he's going to the paint, and they have to recover. And that, with the push-off, it allows him to get so much more space to get these shots off time and time again.
Yeah, when you get a little too much sauce on the wings there, that's when you got a problem.
Let's get back to the highlights. Take us to it.
But the Pistons, right, they still have a chance to win, guys, in regulation. One more shot here. Dennis Jenkins has been the hero before, but not in Oklahoma City. So all tied at 101, the end of regulation. To overtime we go. Early in OT, SGA.
There it is.
He took that personal.
Chicken wing.
He took over all flats. SGA kicks it out to Alex Caruso, and right here, this was the dagger.
Okay, AC.
Hits the corner three. The Thunder go on to win 114-110. Here's SGA on that MVP award.
I think it's good for the league. I think it's good chatter. It gives people something to talk about. There's a lot of good players in this league, and a lot of guys in the conversation because of that.
There's been chattering on behalf of other players. Would you like to chatter on behalf of yourself?
Nah, I'm good. Thanks for asking, though. But yeah, I'm good. I let my game do the talking.
That boy just too smooth.
He said, I let my game do the talking.
Shades
Listen, I'll
inside the building.
I'll let you guys talk about that stuff. I'll let my game do the talking.
Well, he lets his game do the talking. Maybe that was a message to somebody else. I don't know, because the race for the 1 seed in the Western Conference, it's
close.
getting pretty tight here, gentlemen. The Spurs and the Bulls, they were in action last night. And by the way, look at the separation there. Barely any in the standings. It was a block party for Vivtor Wembanyama in this one.
Look where he came from.
Making his case for Defensive Player of the Year. Out of nowhere with the left. And then later in the half, Wemby gets it.
Shot fake, step back. I need room.
I don't know why they jumped that. Like, why you're not going to block it?
Dominant first half for Wemby as he continues to dominate too in the second half. And guys, the Wemby-Castle connection, they've been in sync all year. Here's what Wemby had to say about Area 51.
We've had the chance to spend lots of minutes on the court together, and he understands me very well. And me as the roller, I'm trying to make sure every time he throws it up high enough, because still sometimes he doesn't throw it high enough.
Well, jumping ahead to the fourth quarter here, Wemby, he says, I'm going to get high. Sizing up his defender here. One-handed slam. He finished with 41 points, 16 rebounds, and the Spurs take this one. This is just ridiculous, and he makes it look ordinary, right? Because besides scoring 26 of his 41 points in the paint, Monday was also his 8th career game with at least 3 threes, 3 blocks, and 15 rebounds. That's already the most by any player since blocks were officially tracked by the NBA. All right,
50 years ago.
6 games, 50 years, and he's already saying, yeah, I'm the first, and we have 6 games to go. Yeah. And so by seeing SGA and seeing Vivtor Wembanyama, what they did back-to-back, you cannot tell me that they aren't tracking what the other person is doing, knowing what the MVP race has never been tighter. Has anything changed here for you, Amon?
All right, I'll say this. SGA is doing everything that he's supposed to be doing to make his case.
That's right.
And I think that with last year's history and with him already having the 4 trophies, I got him ahead as far as before I went to sleep last night. But everything that I'm seeing Wembanyama do is like, first of all, it's must-see TV. Mm-hmm. Second off, I can't determine who means more to their ball club right now. And the only way I think I can give it to Wemby now is you have to be more of a winner. So you gotta kind of beat their record.
Is that your definition when you're putting out your criteria for MVP? It is the most important player to their team.
It's a couple of things.
Yeah, it's the team and the league.
All right, the team and the league. And so you're saying it's kind of to me. The standings right now, if you're looking for a reason to vote for Vivtor Wembanyama and you're saying, well, we want to vote for him, but he's not quite having the best they're separated by half a game. Yeah. Is it really making that much of a difference who has the 1 seed?
It is. And I wouldn't say not much has changed. Some has changed since Wemby has spoken and also has proven with his performance and play. But the difference for me is it hasn't changed because OKC is still the overall number 1 seed. And until that changes, that's when Wemby can ultimately overall get my vote, even though I don't have one. But SGA has done it and done it time again without his second best player for most of the year. His Scottie Pippen has been gone a lot of the year. Chet has been in and out. Alex Caruso's been in and out. Hartenstein's been in and out. He's carried this team to 60 wins and breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record of 20-plus points.
Look how much the odds have shifted.
Yeah.
It's way closer today than it was back on March 22nd.
I mean, that's what campaigning for yourself kind of does a little bit. You know, he spoke and people realize, and Draymond said, why is this a profound statement? People forget how important defense is. And 3 blocks to go with 16 rebounds and 41 points, he's not only dominating on offense, he's dominating on defense, too.
Yeah, I guess I come back to, I understand if you're trying to have the conversation about Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic and SGA and Wemby, where winning is going to separate in that way. But again, it's half a game. And so are we really saying that the Vivtor Wembanyama, I am a tremendous fan of. Yeah. I love watching him play. This race was blown wide open when SGA missed that time with injury. Mm-hmm. He's come back, and he really hasn't missed a step.
Not at all, and that's why I'm saying we can't get bored with the success that he's had.
Yeah.
We can't get bored. Just because he continues to do it and we've seen it over and over, that don't mean it ain't happening. Mm-hmm. It's happening.
And the clutch gene that he has, I haven't seen in a long time. It reminds me very much of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. 15 straight points in fourth quarter overtime. Yeah. Like, he's not only done it against the Detroit Pistons, he's done it against the Boston Celtics, he's done it against Golden State, he's done it against Indiana Pacers. Whoever you put in front of him in the fourth quarter, whoever's on the floor, you know he's going to take over and get to his spots and make those shots time and time again.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a clutch player like that in a while.
Here's what I'm hoping. I am hoping that at 1 and 2 seed, we are going to get these two on a collision course in the Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
That is what basketball needs.
That's what we deserve.
That is what I think that we deserve. We're hoping to see. To the voters, I wish you the best of luck.
Good luck.
As you can see, this is very, very tight of a race. But before we go to break, we do have some breaking news this morning. Amari Stoudemire, Candace Parker, Elena
Doc.
and Doc Rivers. They are
Doc.
among the members that are going to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame as a part of the class of 2026, according to our Sham Sharanya. So congratulations. We look forward to seeing the entire group together in Springfield a little bit later this summer. In the NBA in March, we're going to start with top dime time. The Blazers and the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon throws the no-look pass here.
Hold on, I see you. I see you.
Usually it's Joker doing that.
Yeah,
I could see you.
The Jokic book.
AG, so important to this team's postseason hopes.
Ooh, it was one-handed, too. It was
Then
one-handed.
LeBron in Indy. Jake LaRavia cuts back door.
Dimes.
LeBron finds him. Didn't even have to look.
Tightrope.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a pretty strong pass.
James Harden throws a three-quarter lob here.
This was impressive.
On time, on
The catch
target.
was, that's what I said, the catch was ridiculous.
Catch and
Isn't this what
finish.
Wemby
No, it
was
was
talking
pretty
about?
good, though.
You gotta
Bottom
throw it
corner,
high enough.
backboard.
This is top rim rattlers, the Sixers and Hornets. Tyrese Maxey out and running.
Okay, Reese, meet me.
Hey!
Ooh!
Punches it with the left.
Catch him slipping.
Gotta take the elevator.
Quick dunk. Get to the rim
Gotta
fast.
take the elevator.
And then
Okay, Reese.
Wemby. Whenever
E-muggle.
Wemby pump fakes, his levers are so long.
Oh my God. Get out the. Look out
Also
below.
with a little bit of revenge because Gigi Jackson has just dunked
dunked
on him.
Yep.
Ant-Man, the two-handed slam.
And then of
That was
course
a
RJ.
Kawhi-esque. Have you ever noticed that Danny has a little bit of a Kawhi
Yeah, a
laugh?
little bit.
We love it. All right, the top ankle snatchers. Donovan Mitchell is patented little snatch back.
Oh my goodness.
Man,
Scorpion.
oh my Lord.
That's,
Get over
yeah,
here.
that's not right.
He makes it look so easy, too. Darius Garland
Oh, God.
breaking the
Break,
Oh,
break. Don't do that.
That was
Darius,
fun.
why'd you? I'm telling.
That might
I'm
have been
telling.
an accident.
And Andrew Nemhard, and first off, Andrew Nemhard is an elite defender.
Elite
Yeah,
defender.
Flipped over the screen.
Jalen Green sits down his defender
come
there.
dance with me.
And then he points at him.
Dance with me.
Don't point at him.
It's a dance going on. You
Man, the
didn't-
Bucks are having hard enough times here. We didn't need that. All right, let's shift to Miami. This is last night. The Sixers and the Heat squared off in a battle of the potential play-in previews that we're going to see here as you're taking a look there at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. We're going to start out in the first quarter. By the way, the Sixers all healthy here. Paul George
Edgecombe.
lobs it up to Edgecombe.
Way upstairs to
To
the
the
attic.
slam.
Okay.
Jump into the fourth quarter here. Good game, all tied at 101. Maxey gets to his spot, knocks down the three.
Everywhere's his spot.
Super good.
Basically, after this, it was here comes the Miami Heat.
Yep, that meltdown at the end.
Man, going upstairs.
Powerful putback there. And then a couple plays later here, Tyler Hero catches it, knocks down the three. So Miami takes the lead here off of this, and it was just the Heat was turning up now. Next Heat possession, I need a hero. Feeling it in this
30
one.
ball. Let him know.
The Heat closing it out. Tyler Hero once again driving to the paint here.
Need a floater.
Floats it in. The Heat went on a 14-0 run, guys, to close out this game. And here's what Tyler Hero had to say about the Heat's play-in status.
I don't want to say we're play-in champs, but we're trying to work our way out the play-in. And, you know, at this time of the year, anything can happen. You know, we want to play our best basketball. This is one step in the right direction. Just got to keep going. You know, this is an important stretch for us here. Got another one at home, and then we go on the road, so we got to take care of business.
When you think about it, they kind of are the play-in
they're
champs.
experienced.
They've gone from the
Very-
play-in all the way to the NBA championship game. All right, let's go coast to coast, get you caught up on the action from around the NBA. We're going to start with the Cavaliers. Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, they each had 34 to hold off the Jazz. Cleveland, they've won 7 of their last 10. They're now 1 game behind the Knicks for third. Iman, what's impressed you most about your former squad?
I think that what I'm expecting to see out of them, I don't see right now. Right now, what I'm seeing is them just enjoy each other. Right? I was expecting this hard way to gel. How can you gel? And James Harden's come over there, and it's just looked fun for everybody.
You're wearing the wine in celebration.
A little bit of wine, red wine.
Hey, how about Devin Booker? He scored a game-high 36 over the Grizzlies.
Shoot it.
And with the win, Phoenix has moved just 3.5 games back from the Rockets for 6th in the West. Danny, I'm pretty surprised they're in this position. Are you?
I think everybody is. With that trade of KD, losing Bradley Beal, you would think this team was going to be very much at the bottom, trying to get lottery picks. But Jordan Ott has these guys playing at a high level. Unbelievable job by him. Should be Coach of the Year candidate for sure. Top 3.
Off to the ATL, Jalen Johnson led the Hawks to their 13th straight home win. Atlanta, 16-2 since February the 22nd, the best record in the East over that span. Iman, what stands out to you about the surging Hawks?
I just love their new direction. I love the Jalen Johnson. I love the way that they're running on the perimeter. I think they've added some pieces that have given them some confidence. But I think it's just starting to feel good in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, so keep it going, fellas.
There you go.
5. The Lakers hosting the Wizards. No Luka in the lineup. Remember, he had that technical foul threshold that he hit, but plenty of LeBron James. We're going to pick this one up, Iman and Danny, early in the first quarter. After the Lakers steal, that is a 41-year-old getting out sprinting.
Transition.
Nice pass there, by the way, from Austin Reeves.
2 hands for safety.
Little lob. Great recovery there by LeBron James. All right, later in the first, more of that Reeves-LeBron connection.
Hey!
Against that Wizard zone, that was so spectacular.
How do you let 2-3 get behind your zone?
After a timeout.
Now to the second, LeBron.
Jackson Hayes.
Pulls the outlet to Jackson Hayes. And then moments later in the second, LeBron says, I can still do that. LeBron led the Lakers with a game-high 14 points in the first half here. Jumping ahead, the Lakers ahead comfortably. LeBron gets the defensive rebound and then brings it all the way up the other way.
Step up.
Stray ball.
Hits the 3. He recorded his 1,228th career game. He ties Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most by any player in NBA history. Now, the Lakers, they've won 12 of their last 13 games. And after the game, LeBron, he spoke about the team's chemistry.
We're in a good place right now. The chemistry is high. Everyone loves being around each other. We love playing for one another. We love being off the floor with one another. It's a good, tight-knit group, and we got to carry that for the rest of the regular season. Then I said, like, the postseason is the own season.
All right, so after LeBron ties Kareem for the most career wins there, he's got to turn right around and do it again tonight. We're joined now by our senior writer, Dave McMenamin. Dave, we heard from LeBron there, but it feels like this team is finally clicking on all cylinders. Inside the locker room, what are they saying?
I mean, winning cures all,
right.
But the way they're winning is playing for one another. You have a lot of guys who are comfortable in their roles. Look at what the centers did last night. Yeah. DeAndre Ayton, perfect from the field. Jackson Hayes, perfect from the field. They're both getting blocked shots. They're both setting screens to get guys like Luke Kennard open for 3. Yeah. The Lakers were a poor defensive team the first half of the season and a poor three-point shooting team the first half of the season. Both those things have improved majorly. A lot of that you give the credit to the stars, but the role players are finding their roles, and the stars are putting all on the line. LeBron James, second night of a back-to-back, he's going to be in the lineup tonight against the Cavs.
Oh, you have to imagine that that's the reason he wants to be in the lineup against his former team, and they're going to have a chance at clinching a playoff spot against the Cavaliers tonight. And let's just say these two, right, they got plenty of history here. Cleveland, LeBron left in 2010. Right, following an early exit at the hands of the Celtics. So we're going to go through that history a little bit here. So his first game back was a heatle. He was one of the most hostile games in NBA history, right? LeBron said the fan reaction was probably the worst that he has ever heard. But then, after winning 2 titles with Miami, he returned to Cleveland in 2014. In his second season back, LeBron, Kyrie, the Cavs, they ended that 64-year championship drought after overcoming a 3-1 finals deficit with Iman Shumpert to the Golden State Warriors.
Turnaround.
And James has played against the Cavs 25 times in his career, 13 times as a Heatle, 12 as a Laker. So his career average against Cleveland, 29-8-7. So whoever wins tonight's matchup in LA clinches a playoff spot. Now, of course, anytime these two teams clash, anytime LeBron plays the Cavaliers, there's a renewed focus on his future. And Dave, you have a story up right now on ESPN.com. You authored it with Tim Bontemps, and it breaks down all the decisions, not to call back that memory, for LeBron this summer. But you laid it out in the article, Dave, right? LeBron, he opted into his current contract. So for the first time in his long career, he doesn't have a fallback plan. Yep. What does that mean?
Usually he would sign like a 1+1 deal and
right.
give him a player option in order to exercise it if he wanted to, but he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. And we'll see if he wants to retain, his job with the Lakers. I reported in this story that the Lakers do have interest in welcoming LeBron back. But then it comes down to what the number is, right? The Lakers are going to want to fit this team around Luka Doncic moving forward. It doesn't mean that LeBron can't be part of that mix, but certainly not at the $52.6 million contract he's making right now. If LeBron chooses to prioritize his salary, there'll be other options for him, including Cleveland. There could be a sign and trade scenario where Cleveland gets off of someone like Jared Allen's contract. Lakers get another big man who's been a former All-Star. LeBron could go back to Cleveland. If it is about the retirement tour, no place will bring back the feels, the memories, the full circle moment like Cleveland would. But Tim and I reported on some other teams that could be in the mix. He could stay on the West Coast, maybe go play it with Steph Curry, Steve Kerr.
We've been down that road before.
You could stay in LA, go to the Clippers, maybe make some more money there.
I think that the option comes in like, listen, Brian, you wanna walk off, do your home run, flip your bat, people all get to clap their hands and walk you on up out of there. Go to Cleveland.
This is why he's wearing this color suit.
You see what I'm saying? Go to Cleveland. We're gonna respect it more. We're gonna love you more. It's more hugs that way. Now, you want to go to the dark side because it looked like you could play another 5 more years. You want to go to the dark side? I know you want to win. Wemby over there chilling.
Okay, San Antonio.
We have Denver mentioned as a potential in the story as well.
I think he'd prefer to stay in LA, but I don't see him taking that much of a cut. Like, he's not prioritizing his contract as the main thing, but he's not going to take that much less of a deal to stay home. And he shouldn't, because of what he's done for the organization, what he's done for the game of basketball. And the teams that are able to afford him, Cleveland, is where he should end up, and brings Bronny with him and have his farewell. Tip his hat.
Bring Bronny with him, though.
Yeah, bring Bronny with him.
Yeah. It's like Giannis, man. Giannis bring his brother, bring his son, man.
It certainly seems like he's going to play another season based on all the vibes right now. But he needs to make that decision earlier rather than later if he wants to make more than a smaller salary, because teams are going to use up that cap space and other players.
Right.
It is an option, but I highly doubt that anybody in the world is thinking that he's going to leave without a farewell tour.
I don't know. Farewell tours don't necessarily always coincide with winning. It's a big undertaking. So usually when you see these huge farewell tours, it's not on a team that's competing at the highest level. And so those two things would be hard to balance. But as you mentioned, Dave, whatever LeBron decides to do, he does have to let teams know at some point, not just so you and we can take a vacation this summer, but also because the teams are going to have to allocate that type of salary. And in case you needed a reminder, LeBron James, he's already the all-time leader in games, minutes played, points scored, made field goals. Also, he ranks 4th all-time in assists and 5th in triple-doubles and can continue to climb up the ranks. Dave, thank you so much for that insight.
UConn is headed to an unprecedented 25th Final Four. It's a great day to be a Longhorn. You bet! Wow!
She got this crowd off their feet. This is must-watch television.
We're fighting for more days with each other. That's our biggest motivation.
Seeing Phoenix.
So 4 teams remain, but DraftKings Sportsbook has UConn as the clear favorite, and you can see why. To cut down the nets this year, South Carolina and Texas, they have the same plus 550 odds. UCLA just behind them with 6-1 odds of winning the title. But I know I am winning right now because I get to say hello to our friend that we haven't seen in a hot minute, Carolyn Peck, who knows about winning at the highest level here. Coach, we always appreciate the time. How about it, though? We got all 4 1 seeds headed into the Final Four. Who are you watching? Who impressed you most?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, you've got UConn, who is on this undefeated streak. And I think that AZ Fudd is always at her best at the Final Four because you remember last year, 19 against UCLA, 24 against South Carolina. She hasn't shot it great in the regionals, but I expect that to come back around because when it's go time, AZ Fudd is ready to step things up. And she's got her partner in crime in Sarah Strong. And you've got Blanca Quinones, the freshman, who was huge in the Elite 8. And so they're looking good. But I'll tell you, the hottest team right now, I think, is Texas. And I think that Texas defense in every game of the tournament, they have won by 20 points a game. So that means their defense is strong and their offense is as well. And especially, you got Madison Booker, who's been able to knock down buckets. But I think the key for Texas has been Rory Harmon. I mean, she was 5 of 10 against Kentucky. She was 3 of 5 against Michigan. As long as that guard continues to make shots and open up things inside, that makes Texas a dangerous team as well.
Yeah, and you look back to the regular season, right, and these two facing each other, and you can maybe look back on that history to tell you maybe a little bit something about how we could be seeing this all shake out in the Final Four. But, Coach, I can't believe it. We're already less than 2 weeks away from the WNBA draft. The time is ticking away. Has there been a player or maybe a couple that you think has had their draft stock really rise here through this tournament run?
Well, Lauren Betts at 6'7", she's got tremendous hands, great size inside. She's averaging 17 and 8 and a big target. And I think that she's gotten more ferocious inside, playing through contact on the offensive end, blocking shots on the defensive end. You also have Azzi Fudd, who is a flat-out scorer. This is a player that can shoot the ball with high efficiency, over 40% from the floor, 44% from three. But that player whose stock is rising, I think, is Rory Harmon, because when you're small going into the league, you've got to be able to also score the basketball. She will distribute it. And now she is proving that she is that bucket getter. She's still that point guard that plays 70-30, 70% for everybody else, then 30% her time. And if she can do that, I believe her stock is rising in this WNBA draft.
There's something about guards in March. Their stock always, it seems like this is the time for guards to rise. Coach, I'm excited. It's our time of year. It means we're going to be seeing a whole lot of each other, and I am so...
He said it so he said it so quickly.
Did he have a cup of coffee? What was going on there? Hey, you know what? I don't want to know. Wolves up 5. Anthony Edwards, when he did check into the game, it's the 3.
Straight to it, getting bucks.
That's his first bucket there.
Feet,
but how about Ayo DeSumo? Hey, he's been excellent for them. 16
Huge
points,
pickup.
A career high
deadline.
15 boards and 12 assists in 33 minutes there for DeSumo. His first triple-double since being acquired from Chicago.
Wow.
Edwards, a little shoulder fake.
Oh, that's what happens when you drop 10 pounds.
Yep. Got to get it out
Maybe
there.
5.
Yeah, I can give you the runs. The third quarter, Edwards driving. Gets that one to go high off the glass. I think he called bank on that one. Edwards, 17 points, 1 bathroom break, 4 assists, but the Timberwolves, they get the win 124-94. So despite going back-to-back to the Western Conference Finals here, the Wolves, they're 9th, right, in terms of title odds. That's according to DraftKings Sportsbook. That means a championship run, emphasis on the runs.
There you go.
If they were able to do it, would be one of the biggest underdog stories in league history. But I'm standing with a collection of guys who have won rings here. And yesterday on the show, you, Danny, you were talking about championship, the boxes that need to be checked here. And so we thought that maybe it was time, as champions, to run through a little championship checklist.
Why not? And first, we're going to start off with guys that can swing a series. We could like to call them swing players. If you can throw it up there. Is there
a band?
Coming? Here we go.
There we go.
Here we go. First one, we're going to start off with swing players. Guys that can swing a series.
Yeah.
Like a Patty Mills, a Gary Neal, a Boris Diaw. Your boy. Might be in there.
I see what this is about.
Some guys that get the depth ultimately. How deep is your team? Are there guys in your team that can give you 20 or 30 or randomly that they don't put on the scouting report outside of your stars that can give you a plus? So we like to call those guys that can swing a series swing players.
All right, man. Second on this checklist, Victor talked about it a little bit, but we cannot play this game without playing both sides of the floor.
There you go.
For 48 minutes. What we saw was a championship DNA start brewing over there in Boston, and then we saw, as we see the highlights from there, my boys out there. You have to play both sides of the ball. I think OKC has made sure to make it to where you have to have depth, you have to play both sides, and now it is the DNA to win a championship.
Mentally locked in for 48. For the third one, it's DNA. And it doesn't necessarily mean champion. Like, you don't have to have won, but you have to have some experience. That's playoff experience, taking playoff lumps. So championship DNA doesn't come from just winning championships, but obviously Kawhi Leonard's won one. Myself, we had one, brought it to Toronto, but we had guys like Marc Gasol who have been in some playoff series. Serge Ibaka, been in some series. Kyle Lowry. These guys have experience and ultimately have won in multitude of seasons. So I would give them some DNA, not championship DNA, but definitely the DNA to be able to know how to win. So that's championship DNA for me.
And last but not least, when you get to the nitty-gritty and it's the end of the game, who is your king? You have to show me who is your best player, who is your star, who is the guy that everybody knows is getting the ball and there's nothing that we can do about it. Who is going to put people in the seats? Who is going to make everybody lift their hands up and it's going to go well? Do you have a closer? Do you have a Showtime guy? Show him to me right now.
When I'm looking at this, Oklahoma City absolutely has all of these factors. The San Antonio Spurs, they have most of these factors. The Boston Celtics, they have all of these factors. So it's going to be interesting to see who can check every box on the list. You can check out the next wave, maybe of potential champions here. Some of the best high school. My goodness, UConn back in the Final Four. They take on Illinois on Saturday, and then we have a battle of the one seeds, Arizona and Michigan. And for more on that, we welcome in our college basketball analyst, Sean Farnham, who is actually relocating to LA. This is how we're telling his story. He's enjoyed the time with us so much out here. But my goodness, freshman Braylon Mullins, he hit that shot. Incredible. Do you think that he's going to be one and done?
I do. I think the capabilities are there for him to do that. Now, he's got to judge the draft stock and where he is, because this is an interesting draft because it's so top-loaded that if he feels like he comes back and could move up and be in the lottery next year or a top 5 or 6, 7 pick, then you can do that because now you can get paid at the collegiate level. Sure. Whereas if he's at the back end of this first round and he goes, I don't want to start the clock just yet. I want to run this thing back and see what happens. He's going to have the capabilities to do it. But it's interesting, because, Dan, I'm going to make you the general manager here.
All right.
Let's throw this up behind the back here.
Why not?
Okay, so Braylon Mullins is the guy on the left-hand side. And he's a freshman. The guy on the right, well, he's a junior. If you were a general manager, which one of these two are you selecting? The numbers are pretty similar between the two.
Yeah, man, because, today's game, they always take the youth, right? You go with the younger guy because he seems to have more potential. But I like a polished guy, man. I'm going with a polished junior.
Yeah, that's because you know those numbers on the left are yours.
They look similar.
They are exactly their numbers.
I was guessing.
Okay, but if you look at those numbers and you look at Braylon Mullins and you're asking, like, who is the best, his ceiling comp, a lot of times you're the person that comes up for him. Now, he's got to improve his three-point shooting consistency. There were times this year he missed 7 games, but he has the ability. He proved at the high school level, at an elite level, and he's shown it at times clearly on Saturday as well, or Sunday when he hit the big shot, that he has the smooth stroke. Now, his defense, he has that wingspan similar to you that can become disruptive and jump passing lanes and get a couple extra possessions and being opportunistic, and that's where he's got to get a little bit more consistent.
He's a pretty big guard and a little more athletic maybe than I was.
We don't have to go back to the McDonald's All-American layup. We can move past that.
But they do have some interesting more advantages than we did, because when you left early, you couldn't come back unless you had an age. Like,
we didn't get
they have agents
Shump
now.
comp that we have left of the last 4.
I'm coming back next week for that one.
Okay, we're coming back for the Shump
That's
comp.
next week, yeah.
So we don't get a Shump comp here, but is there anyone else that you're keeping an eye on here with these Final Four teams?
I think we haven't talked enough about Koa Pete. Like, you go back to the start of the season, he's had 30 points in the opening game against Florida.
Braden a lot.
And fell in love with this kid. And then as the season went on, people started noticing he only has attempted 19 three-point shots on the season. He's made 6 of them, kind of limited in that regard. But, man, can he get to his spot and score? And when their offense needed a lift this past weekend, Coach Tommy Lloyd put the ball in his hand and said, go get to the center point of the paint. Get to that logo right underneath the free throw line and elevate up and be able to finish. He plays with such a maturity, such a strength about his game. I think as we finish out this Final Four and he starts to go through the draft process, what people are also going to start doing, you guys had boxes checked up there, the intangibles on this young man are incredible. All 8 of his siblings have played at the college level or professionally ranked. He won a state championship after breaking his hand. His senior year, he stayed and played and still averaged over 20.
He's a winner.
Those things matter. For the intangibles that you're going to draft when you're looking outside of that lottery. You see where Jeremy Wu had him at like 17, 19. That's a pretty good team that's going to be selecting somebody that now all of a sudden gets a piece that can become a rotational piece.
When you're talking about winning a state championship with your hand broken, the toughness, the competitiveness, that is what general managers and GM Danny Green over here is likely
I'd hire him as my GM.
But before
Carolina might hire him as the GM right now, too.
Well, there you go. Before we tip off the Final Four, though, we got to take one more look, right? At Braylon Mullins and that shot. It was absolutely incredible. And what it made us think
I can watch this forever.
is we need to take a little trip up to the LED, to the big board here. Usually it's big perch, big list. But it is back. We have Farnham's focus here because that got us thinking, what do you think, as someone who has watched many of these shots, DG's maybe even authored a couple, are the most clutch shots in NCAA tournament history on the men's side?
All right, first and foremost, I must set the table.
Okay, here we go.
Hello, America.
There you go.
All right, the rules remain the same as they were last week. We got to expedite the process. I want the same energy and the same delivery.
Okay,
honorable mentions, though. I'm going to go with a couple honorable mentions. How about MJ? Honorable mention. Why is MJ an honorable mention and not part of the top 5 when he knocked off Georgetown? Well, he hit the shot with 14 seconds left. It wasn't necessarily a true buzzer beater.
All right.
So let's go to the first one. Malika, go ahead.
Bam!
There you go.
All right, I'm getting into it.
Number
It might
5.
be recency bias, and it also might be because you went to Carolina and this was against Duke, and I wanted to make sure you felt really happy about this list because there might be some others that you're not going to be as happy with.
I could get
so this was a big-time moment, big-time shot by a freshman. I love the fact that the senior gave it back to him, the improbable comeback, 16-0 points off of turnovers. It was turnovers that got him there. Go ahead.
Bam!
All right, let's go here. I'm a Bruin.
Ooh.
There is no way I can do a list without honoring the greatness of Tyus Edney and 4.8 seconds against Missouri when the Bruins looked like they were in ruins, and instead they won the game. They went on to win the national championship.
There you
All
go.
right, go ahead.
Let me give you one more. Hold up. Bam!
All right, let's go here. Ooh, Jalen Suggs.
Okay,
Why is Jalen Suggs in this list? Let's remember where we were at. Last time we were at Indianapolis for the Final Four. It was COVID. We were all separated. I was actually there in the building. But this was the moment, the first time I think we felt post-COVID. The air gets sucked out of the building, and then a little bit of a roar as there were 17,000 people there. Malika, go ahead.
Oh, I get another one? All right.
Yeah, you get another one.
Bam!
All right, this one. Oh,
We knew
my.
this was happening.
The most hated
We knew this was
individual in
happening.
the state of Lexington, Kentucky. He's coming in at number 2. What a pass by Grant Hill. 2.1 seconds left to go. Now, also remember Christian Laettner stepped on somebody's chest earlier in the game. A lot of people thought maybe he shouldn't be in the game. He was. He hits the big shot. And for the last 30-plus years, we've been talking about how we cannot change the rules to advance the ball because we might not have that shot. Let's advance the ball, guys. All right, let's go to number 1. Bang. This one, pretty easy.
Oh, man.
I mean, if you're thinking about the double dagger to win the championship, you had Marcus Page at one end of the floor, comes right back down. Chris Jenkins hits it. Jay Wright goes all gangster, doesn't even react, just slowly starts walking down the sideline to shake Roy Williams' hand. Oh, yeah. And, of course, the national championship goes to Villanova. This is my most clutch shots in the men's NCAA.
I see why you needed
This was a bad night. I was in the building for that.
Good stuff from Danny early.
It was a bad all-around night.
Well,
Crazy, bro.
you know, this was a pretty good list, but Shump today had a pretty good look. And since you were excellent at creating these lists, I just need to know.
There you go.
Who wore it better here, Shump?
Well, I mean, this is such a casual look down underneath.
Business cash.
Yeah, come on now.
I mean, this is
That's business man right there.
You dress for success. You dress for success. I'm going with Shump.
There you go.
We roll with you, Shump.
Red wine.
Appreciate you, Sean.
See you tomorrow.
Red wine,
NFL
man.
Live's coming up next.
Good for the heart.